Well, I think it's fair to say that the NBA Finals haven't gone exactly as planned, whether you were a Warriors or a Cavaliers fan. Game number one, Warriors finding themselves down by double digits at the end of one quarter, yet they rallied to win in overtime. Costly loss, of course, for the Cavaliers, already minus K-Love, losing Kyrie Irving in the process. Then game number two, Cleveland, 7.5-point underdog. They go into Golden State, must-win game. They steal the home court advantage with the overtime win. So, now the series returns to Cleveland. For game number 3 tonight here on the Video Report, I've got a breakdown of the contest and a free play on the over-under. I cashed with the under easily in game number 2. Plus 18-9 run with the complimentary plays over the past 2 weeks in basketball and baseball combined here on the video. And today, I'm going to revisit that Pittsburgh-Milwaukee series that cost me money last night and take a look at your lone interleague battle between Toronto and Miami. Hi everyone, Al DeMarco here, and this, of course, is going to be your Tuesday Video Report. Quick props going out to Scott Delaney last night. 80-dime mismatch of the year in baseball, a mismatch it was. Had the Toronto Blue Jays on the run line as a $1.20-25 dog at home against Miami. And Blue Jays jumped out to that 6-run first inning lead, and they cruised to the 11-3 triumph. So props going out to him. And you got that play at a $60 savings off the regular price yesterday. Now, of course, with the NBA resuming tonight, you know where I'm going here. For the half-price play of the day, once again, Steve Buden's number one NBA crew out of New York City. They won a perfect 5-0 with their finals plays last year, all 50-dimers like tonight, San Antonio-Miami series, and you got them all at discounted prices, and they're already a perfect 2-0 this year, as you got their 50-dime winner on the Warriors in game number 1, and the 50-dime winner on the Cavaliers is a 7.5-point dog winning outright in OT in game number 2, both at half price, so naturally, half price once again today. 50-dime winner number 20 out of 26. 20 out of 26 over the past 2 years on your Golden State Cleveland side. You get it for half price simply by using coupon code HALF, H-A-L-F. FYI, the New York crew for Buden, 64, 42, and 4. Their combined record the past 5 seasons in the pros. Now for your total, again, turning to Brad Wilton, 50-dime playoff winner number 18 out of 25. That's this year, 18 out of 25. And it's his Warriors-Cavs total. Strong as his 50-dime winners on game 1 going over and game 2 staying under. You got both of those plays at a savings of $85, meaning you pay just $14 tonight. Again, 50-dime playoff winner number 18 out of 25 from Brad Wilton. Only $14. Save $85 again by using coupon code BRAD14. BRAD14. Also, all your other promos, etc., are over on the homepage, including another bankroll builder from Matt Rivers, a top-rated 5,000-star winner, number 5 out of 6 on the Cubs Tigers. And the charity play of the week goes tonight as well. Looking for winner number 11 out of 15, courtesy of Jeff Benton, who has 50-dime winner number 18 out of 24 and 7 in a row going tonight. You get it for free as the charity play of the week. Okay, guys, let's first talk about game number 3 here tonight. I think probably the biggest factor that will come into play here this evening is going to be fatigue. We saw 2 games go into overtime, right, to start the series. We saw LeBron James, the most critical player for either team, obviously, on the floor, playing massive minutes. I mean, he played 46 of a possible 53 minutes in game number 1, and then he came back and played 50 minutes of a possible 53 in game number 2. And let's not forget that he launched 38 shots in game number 1, 35 shots in game number 2. So he definitely piled on the minutes, as did the entire Cavaliers team. But then again, so did the Warriors, because their bench gave them nothing in game number 1 after a stalwart performance in game number 2 after a very strong performance in game number 1. And I think the critical factor here tonight, as I said, is fatigue, because remember, going into game number 1, these teams both had over a week off since the end of the conference finals, okay? Then, game number 2, you had 2 full days to recuperate after the overtime game in game number 1, which was played on Wednesday, game number 2 on Sunday. Here they are, though, today, less than 48 hours after the finish of game number 2, playing again. And you have to factor in travel as well. A couple of other things you have to look at in this particular contest. First of all, the Cavaliers, it's amazing if you look at the box score, how they won. game number one, considering they shot a little over 32% from the field, considering they missed 12 free throws in the contest. Then again, you have to only look at the other end of the box score and see that the Warriors were just miserable, especially Mr. MVP Steph Curry. And that's not a knock on Curry. Everybody has a bad day, but you can't win games when Curry's going like 5 for 23 from the field. More importantly, three-point shooting, which is the bread and butter of the Warriors, atrocious in game number two, as Klay Thompson and Steph Curry combined to go just 6 for 27 on three-pointers. So you have all those things come into play here tonight. And listen, the Warriors only shot like 39.8% as a team playing at home in game number two. But what the odds makers have done here tonight is drastically reduced the price in this contest. What was the total in game number one? 205.5, and then in game number two it was like down to 201.5, 202, and here you have a price now at 195. Defense or fatigue definitely leads to tired legs. Fatigue also leads sometimes to lower scoring games. And of course, listen, by nature of the playoffs, as each round advances throughout the postseason, I pointed out this many times in the postseason here on the video report, you have to always tend to look toward the unders because teams pack it in. They play more half-court offensive styles. In Cleveland's particular cases, I pointed out prior to game number two, giving you the under, I thought the key for them was to slow down the tempo of the game. They couldn't get into a running game with Cleveland. But again, I come back to how much energy was exerted by the Cavaliers and really by both teams in the first two games. That is going to affect their ability, I think, to play that grinded-out defensive style tonight. I think you have to take advantage of the reduced price in terms of the points because everyone's thinking, oh my goodness, this is going to be an 82-81 game. And listen, it could be. But I think that you have to go over tonight because I think the tired legs will actually lead to more defensive breakdowns for both teams, thereby increasing the scoring opportunities for both squads. Plus, listen, guys, I don't expect the Cavaliers to shoot 29% from the field like they did in game number two now that they're at home. I don't expect Steph Curry to have another miserable shooting night. I don't expect Steph Curry and Klay Thompson to have miserable nights shooting the three-pointer. I think the law of averages comes into play and you take advantage of the reduced price and you go over with this particular contest. Now, let's talk about the Pittsburgh game against Milwaukee. You know, last night I used the Pirates as my dog of the week, and I had won 8 of 9 days going into that play last night, and it lost. Pirates getting shut out 2-0. Listen, if I had known Andrew McCutcheon, who was only batting .422 with 4 homers and 15 ribbies in the previous 17 games, of which the Pirates had gone on a 13-3 run, so his streak was even longer than the Pirates' recent run of success. If I had known he was going to be given the day off with a knee injury, I wouldn't have used the Pirates. But that's not an excuse. That's just a reality. And the reality is also this. If I had known that, I would have used my second play, the Atlanta Braves last night, as my own personal best bet, and I would have lost that as well. Because Shelby Miller, 7 innings of 5-hit, 1-run ball, once again, the Atlanta Braves bullpen imploded and cost them a win as the Padres came back to rally. So either way, I would have lost last night. But McCutcheon, is expected to be back in the lineup tonight. And I'm going to go with Francisco Liriano. Now, I used him as a best bet last week in his start at San Francisco, and I pointed out that I liked, at that time, riding Liriano when he records some high strikeout games in a row. That's the Francisco Liriano pitcher that I like riding. Well, listen, in his last 3 starts, he's allowed 2 runs on 13 hits, and he's fanned 29 batters in 19 innings. That's why I'm willing to play the Pirates, pretty much pick them on the run line tonight to rebound from that loss to Milwaukee. You know, they are 5-2 against the Brewers this season. In both games they lost, Jimmy Nelson started. Jimmy Nelson has done nothing against the rest of the league other than against the Pirates this season. So I'm looking for them to rebound tonight against Taylor Jungmann, a former first-round draft pick of the Rockies. As a matter of fact, one of 2 first-rounders they had back in the 2011 draft as the pitching poor Rockies Brewers sent him to the mound to make his major league debut. It's not like he was tearing up AAA, Colorado Springs, where in the AAA, the PCL, you always have higher or more inflated earned run averages anyway. Well, his ERA was 6.37. That's even higher than the norm, you know what I mean? In 9 starts. Pirates, despite losing last night, 13-4 run. And they have scored 4 runs or more in 13 of those games. They had won 6 in a row at home prior to losing last night. They had won 5 out of 6 in the series before losing last night. I'm going to come right back with them and play them on the run line this evening. Your final complimentary play, I'm going to take Toronto minus the $1.40 at home against the Miami Marlins. Listen, I know Dan Herron is 2-0 with a 2.36 earned run average in his last 4 starts, but I also know that his ERA at home is 1.96. But Herron's ERA on the road, 4.60. Now that is a split that I like to go against. Mark Buehrle going for the Blue Jays. He has a 2.84 earned run average in his last 6 starts, and he's coming off back-to-back complete game efforts and winning his last 2 starts at Washington and at Minnesota, 2 pretty hot teams. As a matter of fact, it's kind of strange. This is only his 3rd start at home since like April 21st. Blue Jays, 6 runs in the first inning last night, 11-3 win. They've won 6 in a row. They have scored at least 6 runs in every single one of those games, 44 runs total in that 6-game span, and they're 4-0 in their current homestand, which began with the sweep with the Astros. They've won 7 of their last 8 at the Rogers Center overall, scoring 58 runs in those games. So again, I'm going to lay the wood with the Blue Jays tonight as your final complimentary play. That'll do it, guys. Remember all your other promos, etc., including the Charity Play of the Week information, all available on the homepage. Good luck to you, and I'll catch you again tomorrow when we do this one more time.